Good afternoon, members of the media. Closer. Our preparations have gone well. Our travels back from Algeria. Of course, we've analyzed the team's faction in details and a very young, mobile, dynamic squad, and with a very good coach. Everybody looks at them, they lost their first 2 group games, but if you analyze the matches, both matches you could say they could have won. So they're a very good side, and they're probably very similar to us in relation to a lot of new signings, a new coach, and they're still building their squad. But the profile of their squad, like I said, young, dynamic. You expect a really high intensity match despite the heat. And we're well prepared for what we're about to face. Of course, it's a match in the group where we are at home and we are expected to win, and we'll do everything in our power to be able to prepare and plan and exploit the details of our plan in the match to be able to get the 3 points.
And Augustine, what do you have to say about the match tomorrow?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone seated here. Yeah, we've really prepared concerning our game tomorrow. We've been focused and we've been trying to put all things together and to play our style of game and make sure we get the 3 points at the end of the day. We just want to assure the Simba fans that tomorrow we're gonna get a positive point, and let's make everywhere and everybody to be happy. Yeah.
Okay, can we hear from the media, your name and the media house? Questions first for the coach. Can we give the gentleman there microphone, please?
Thank you so much. My name is Nazare Tupete, representing TBC and Supersport. What I have to ask for Coach Fadlu, you are going to meet a sleeping giant, I could say, because they are co-winners of all time of this Confederation Cup with a 4-time record winning. And still they have no point in the last 2 games. And you said you're going to face a younger team with new players, younger players, averaging to 24 years for the team. And what we have been observing for your team, it is struggling much in the second half, especially when they face these younger teams facing like six of them. What are your preparation, especially for the second half, that you seems losing your flow of the game in the last 2 games? Thank you.
A very good side. You know, they're a big team in Tunisia. Like I said, it's going to be a very tough game. They've got good players up front. They've got Dawi, they've got Hebaj, they've got the likes of Apsi coming from deep, Sakau, the number 8 coming in, Hebasi on the left-hand side, 2 left-footers that are really dangerous. And we are at home and we have to fight for the ascendancy of the match. We have to try to impose our style on the match. It's very important to understand the dynamics of the group as well, and they are a team that needs a win. They are a team that needs 3 points. So normally teams that come here to Benjamin Kappa, they have a more conservative approach, but we have to be prepared for a high press. We have to be prepared for a team that's coming for the 3 points. So also a young dynamic team. I'm not talking about young as in 18, 19. I'm talking about young as in 22, 23-year-olds that have some experience, that are good talents in their own right. A very good question in relation to the second half performance, and it was probably 3 minutes where we conceded the 2 goals. And we've, of course, as coaches, you If you look at the FC Bravos match, a flawless first half, 0 shots against coming into our box. We could have played with the centre back in the goals in the first half against Bravos, and within the first 3-4 minutes of the second half we conceded a penalty. And we look not only into these 2 matches but also into our matches in the league, where we've had similar patterns, and what could be the reason for that. Of course, as technicians, you go into all details to be able to find the reason and try to put mechanisms in place so that you can start the second half as you played the first half. And of course, that is the goal. That is what we want the players to execute, not only for 45 minutes but for 90 minutes. And we've put all mechanisms in place to be able to have a balanced approach for 90 minutes. We know that we also need the 3 points, but we have to be very smart in relation to how we approach the game. It is a game, and it's a match at home that Simba always wants to win. But a match like this, dominating on the one hand, but knowing that they will leave their quick wingers perhaps in rest attack to catch you on the counter attack, so you have to be aware of that. And it's not only wingers that will be cheating, or not only wingers that will be staying probably behind our fullbacks and allowing our fullbacks to attack. And these are the moments where we have to put our mechanisms of rest defense in place, but also try to finish every action off with a shot at goal. So it's very important how we approach this match, very aware of all their possibilities and how they are going to set up. But if we apply ourselves like we've been speaking about now for the consistently over 90 minutes, I don't think we'll have a problem.
Okay, still questions for the head coach?
Good afternoon, Coach Fadlu. My name is Salom Pelembo from Channel 10 and Magic FM. Coach, in the last 2 games, your team has shown different characters. In the Bravo game, you created a lot of chances, but the conversion rate was a bit low. In the Constantine game, there was a little chances created, and the flow heading to the opponent's half was quite low compared to the past game. For these 2 or 3 days of preparation, what should we expect heading to tomorrow's game against Sfaxien? But also, there have been a conversation of Jean Charles Ahoua, a player who looks like a creator-in-chief, regarding to the contribution of goals and assists in the squad at the moment. He's been low and quite isolated in the games. What should we also expect heading to tomorrow's game?
Yeah, it's you can talk about creating chances, or you can talk about XG or expected threat, and how you approach different matches away from home or at home. I think we had a very good performance overall away from home, probably better than our Al Ahli Tripoli match in Libya away from home with the 0-0. Was more balanced performance from our side if you compare the other match, Al Ahli Tripoli. Maybe they should have gotten a penalty in Libya. We drew that match, we got a point away from home. This match, I think we, if not should have won it, because we had the lead at halftime, minimum to get a point out of the game. So it's a match that we have to manage a bit better. And these CAF away matches, if you switch off for a few seconds, you concede a goal. If you play with 10 men while your player is injured, and you keep playing with 10 men, you can concede a goal. And that's what happened in the 3 minutes that we conceded the two goals. If you talk about an individual player, Jean-Charles Ahoua, not only him, but each and every player, we go into details in relation to their performances. Ahoua had a very good defensive performance against away from home against Constantine. Not so good in his attacking performance. A lot of balls too easily losing the ball. And of course it was in relation to when you go through the game and you go through his corrections and you sit with him individually in the video to try to show him which areas he can improve. Sometimes it's positioning, sometimes it's body positioning in relation to receiving the ball. A lot of the times with the wet pitch, he allowed the ball to run and the opponent was pressing aggressively. These are small details that you have to correct. Yes, it was an unfamiliar role that we put him in. You have to take that into consideration as well. And he sacrificed himself for the team. And that is all you can ask for of a player when he's asked to do a certain job. Tactically, he does the job. Yes, the performances and mistakes can happen, and that's part of it, and that is our job as coaches to be able to try to improve a player, to be able to have the same consistent attacking performance away from home and at home. And so we can go into each and every player in the last match, in previous matches, how we try to improve them on all levels. And sometimes it's a psychological aspect. Sometimes it's a player that is the first time playing away from home against a hostile crowd, and how can they manage their emotions, how can they manage their performances. So Ahoua is still a young player, please, and this is what I asked for in the beginning when he was scoring, when he was performing well. It was the media that overhyped him. And now for a young player like this to carry Simba on his shoulders, please, it's asking too much. Let's allow the player to grow, let's allow a player to make mistakes, let's allow the player to improve. And he's a player with huge potential and a huge ability, and still has not reached even 60-70% of his full potential. So it's our job to be able to get the best out of these type of young players. And we shouldn't forget that 15 new players coming into Simba Sports Club this season, a big club, and now asking them to perform week in, week out, away from home, at home. It's going to take ups and downs for young players. So let's support him, and it's our job. We will support him. We will support all our players, and we will help all our players to improve. And that is the process we will do. And when a match at home comes like this, it's all about us correcting the players beginning of the week, and then building up them psychologically and building up their confidence to be able to perform. Because on match day, on Sunday, it's the performance phase of the week, and we them them to perform no matter what the age when it comes to match day. And we put that demands on not only Ahoua, but each and every player of our squad.
Okay, can we have questions for the player? Questions for the player? Questions for the player?